Me. How's it going, guys? Token vaping. So today's juice review is another flavor in an ongoing series that I'm doing. I'm basically trying to condense the amount of time each video takes to make them easier to watch. But when there's multiple flavors involved in different company brands, I try to devote as much attention to the flavors as I can because that's the least I can do. That's what they deserve above everything else. So it does tend to take a little bit longer to get through the flavor lines in multiple companies. So just bear with me. We will get through this. I will try to get to as many as I can on an ongoing basis. But I'm just trying to do what I think is fair and what's proper for the quality and respect and admiration that the different companies do deserve. So with that, the next flavor that I'm doing is going to be in the line from Tokejuice. It's Tokejuice, but that is Tokejuice right there. Sorry, that's why I was saying that. I was staring at the label. It's the company is right here. It's called Tokejuice. This is Tokejuice. He is the main guy behind the scenes. No nonsense. Takes vaping very, very seriously. His passion and drive behind his company is impressive. Does not focus on what he can get out of it. He focuses on what he can give from it. Basically, he tries to accommodate as wide of a spectrum of vaping as possible because he knows that there is such a diverse community out there. He's basically trying to accommodate as wide a range as possible. The nicotine levels he offers is a 0, 3, 6, 12, and 18. And size-wise, he goes to the point of doing a 20 mil, which is basically this size here. He does 30 mils in glass and plastic because some people do have a preference between the two. He does offer a 60 mil and a 120. So I mean, with the multiple flavor range that he does offer and all the different sizes and nicotine options, I mean, it's really hard to say that you cannot find something about this line that you would not like. So with that, we're gonna do. This is the flavor that we're doing today. It's Razzberry Custard, and we're going to see how this goes as far as flavor-wise. As most of you know, I'm not a huge raspberry fan, so we're going to see how this stacks up. And I have been finding more and more that companies now are using raspberry as an accent for a flavor instead of it being the main flavor. So they're actually changing the course of the game, so to speak, when it comes to that flavor. So we'll see how this stacks up to that. It does have the warning and ingredient labeling on the back, and it does say 20 mil and 3 mg here with the really cool tiki face on the front there. It is a max VG line, so we're going to do a first vape. As you can see, this is a safety ring, and I mean, if you look, you can see how beefy those connectors are, and we will bust this open here in a second on a fresh wick with my Texas Tough Cotton. Works really well for me, easy to work with, really durable, holds flavor very well, but on a first vape does not have a huge cottony taste, which is what is the main focal point for me. So on Instagram, it's Texas Tough Cotton. So we're gonna go ahead and bust this open, and if you listen, you should hear, or maybe not, as it pops off. I don't know why that didn't pop the way it was supposed to, but basically that, when you hear that pop off like that, just another safety feature that helps to keep IFO. And the other cool thing is it comes with its own built-in little nozzle tip, so it makes it easier to disperse into your tank or your dripper, as I'm about to do here. So real fast, while I'm filling this up, just make sure that you hear me say certain things here about my opinion, my tastes, what I like, what I don't. All I'm trying to give is a more informative explanation about a flavor, about a line, as opposed to how I vape, because that's ultimately what's going to make the final decision. If you don't like something, it's going to make that flavor impressive or not, depending on how it's done as compared to your taste buds. So that's all it is. It's my opinion. I'm not trying to impose it on anybody. I'm not trying to say that it's final, it's not law. I'm just trying to let you know more or less what I'm getting out of it to see if it's something that might work for your taste palettes as well, if they're similar, or if it's something that you are not wanting to take a chance on just based off of something else. Now, I'm not saying that my opinion shouldn't be the final decision maker for you. I'm just trying to give you a little bit more to go off of than just looking at a picture. So we're going to go ahead and get this juiced up. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little pre-burn to get the juices flowing through the cotton. And cap this up. And we'll go for a vape. And as always, I am vaping at 75 watts. This is Razzberry Custard from Tokejuice. Max VG, you can definitely see the benefits of that with the clouds. Oh yeah, check that out. That's pretty solid. Okay, so do a couple more jobs and then we will do a final opinion. Okay, so I was skeptical at first. I just wanted to hold off on it. Now, it does say Razzberry Custard, but if you look at the name where it says Raz, instead of the SP, they use a double Z. Now, I don't know if it's just a common thing in the vaping world, but I have noticed whenever the Z's are added into it, it always seems to come off with a candy flavor, and that's actually a lot of what I get out of this. It almost tastes like a raspberry candy with a cream undertone. I'm not much of a candy vapor. I'm not a raspberry fan, but this has it does have a very prominent raspberry candy flavor to me. It is very solid for what it is. It is very, it does definitely have a more sweeter, sugary type punch to it if you do like that flavor. The custard part comes in on that undertone, so it does smooth it out a bit, so it's not as overly sweet, sugar-wise, you know, as normal candy flavors are. It does have a smoother vape to it. But ultimately, I'm not a fan of this flavor just because it does have more of a candy taste to me, and it is raspberry. So unfortunately for that, it would not be a flavor of choice for myself. I do get a very slight throat hit just on the tail end in the back of my throat. It is comfortable. I mean, it's not intolerable. It's not a deal breaker, but you know, I do have to say that it is there. It just overall, I think honestly, if the custard undertone wasn't there, I probably would absolutely not be a fan of this flavor myself. However, the custard does make it, like I said, it does smooth it out a bit, so it's not as like you're eating an actual piece of candy. It is a little different, though. I will say that I haven't had a whole lot of candy with a custard type undertone to that. But if you like sweeter flavors, if you're looking for a more sugary candy style flavor, definitely give this a try. The flavor is very, very prominent. It does have a nice punch to that for the flavor if you do like that. Regardless of anything else, good or bad, whether I like the flavor or not, it's not just about me. Tokejuice, thank you guys so much for the continuing privilege to review some of your flavors. It's an honor regardless. Definitely check them out on Instagram and Facebook. They do have a website. It is tokejo.com, and as always, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest. Anything that I can do, does not matter what it is, but anything that I can do to help further enhance your vaping experience, that's the only reason why I choose to do this. This is fun for me. I do enjoy this very much. I like getting in touch with different companies and talking to the people behind the scenes. But if I can help you find an all-day vape flavor, a flavor that you put into your rotation and it becomes one of your go-to flavors, that's a positive spin for me. So anything that I can do, hit me up. I will do everything I can to accommodate whatever you're looking for. But as always, no matter what, I'm always grateful and honored that you take the time to watch my videos. There is that red subscribe button. But regardless, at the end of the day, vape on, vape strong. Have a good night and enjoy life. Take care.